Jenn Mathews, who put on this conference and has done a lot of work. I feel like you're always doing this year-round between this one and the Hawaii one. She's worked with several companies, including Classmates. The girl is just a powerhouse, and so she's going to talk a little about what inspired her to put this together and to bring a group of people like us together, and from now until about 3. So, of course, if you have any questions for Jenn, you know, this is the time to discuss. And without further ado, Jenn Mathews.
When anyone starts a new company or product, this company, Wappow, has been in business for 2 years in March, so we're not quite a year, or almost 2 years into it. And when I came up with the concept of what I wanted to do, it was mainly around events. Anytime anyone looks at any kind of starting a new company or product, when you're doing your business plan, the #1 question is, you know, what are your competitors? What makes you different from your competitors? So the one thing that I always look at anytime I'm starting anything is I take something that works and you build on it. And that's essentially what any company or product is doing. So there's a lot of conferences out there, and we can all literally probably search conference and see a million of them and pick and choose which one we want. And how we decide where we want to go and what we're going to get out of it is up to us to make that decision. So I've been to a lot of conferences, and finding what I wanted out of those conferences, I kind of led me into what I'm doing now. So what I wanted in a conference that led to where we are today is I wanted to have a memorable experience. I wanted something that sparks inspiration, and I wanted something that encourages growth. I wasn't getting those out of any conference that I was attending. So an example of experience. My husband and I went to Disneyland for a weekend. He had not been to Disneyland yet. He is a teacher. He doesn't get marketing. He doesn't even like marketing. Taking him to Disneyland, he's riding on the rides. I don't like rides. So he's going on the rides, and I'm waiting for him when he's done, and he's having a good day, and he's smiling the whole step of the way as he's going through Disneyland. You guys are probably knowing where I'm getting with this, or going with this. At the end of the day, we were standing in the parking lot waiting for the shuttle to pick us up, and I know this happens because I've been to Disneyland, but there's the fireworks show at the end of the day. Y'all remember this, right? And it literally is like this. You're standing there. So we're standing there, and he's a sadly romantic guy. We're cutting that out of the video. He puts his arm around me, and he looks at me, and he's like all in the moment, and he goes, "Disneyland does this on purpose, don't they?" I was like, yes! Now you get marketing! They do! From the moment you walk in, Disneyland is like one big marketing concept, right? Like you walk in the doors, and the first thing you're going through is you're walking through the entire gift section to the rides. And you ride the rides for free. And then as you're leaving, you have to grab all your swag, and you pay for your swag. My biggest thing is I was going to all these conferences, and there's a ton of people, and I'd go to one, and they have them, you know, Conference East, and then Conference West, and then Conference Midwest, and then Conference Europe, and then Conference Asia. And if you go to all of them, they have the same speakers at every one of them. The same speakers are always doing the exact same presentation over and over again, and you're paying thousands of dollars to see that every time. So where are you getting inspired? So that's what this is in there. And this is my closest definition of what we do, what most people consider emerging media to be the definition. So emerging media is the evolution of utilizing technology to share information in new and innovative ways. That defines the conference. You guys have already experienced that, right? Yes. Yes, thank you, Laura. Social, mobile, and gaming. And it can be anything it wants to be. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Is it always going to be social, mobile, and gaming? We're trying to be like, well, is it like this conference? Is it like this conference? The closest I can come is TED. But we're still not even quite like TED. That's like some small, like a bit of kind of the essence of what it is, but still not quite. The sky's the limit. Emerging Media Conference can be anything we want it to be. Last year, so I have been preaching it since web TV, that at some point we are going to merge all these technologies together. And what are we? We're not quite 10 years later, and we're almost there, right? You go to your Xbox, you can log into Facebook from your Xbox. You can watch movies from Xbox. You log into your Wii, and you can download movies for Netflix from your Wii. You can get on your computer, you go to Hulu, and you can watch TV. So at some point, you could probably even do it on your phone right now. You can watch television, right? There's an app for that. There's an app for everything. So at some point, all these technologies are going to merge. It's not going to be in one device. Don't, quote me on that. But these things are all going to be accessible and cross-interacting, and soon we're going to be touching our television to make things happen, or chatting with people, or even talking to them on a headset while we're watching television to somebody across the world. In this conference, my goal is to be at the forefront every time we take a step. That's it.